Okay, yay. So welcome everybody. And Tammy, thank you so much for joining us. Um, as most of you know, Tammy is the author of The Universe is Talking to You, Tap into Signs and Synchronicity to Reveal Magical Moments Every Day. Oh, look, people are holding up their books. Yay. So it's so funny. Like I said, I don't normally do interviews or anything except for I kept screenshotting things from Tammy's book and posting it online and doing it so many times I thought I can't individually screenshot all the pages on her book and send it to all the people who need the different pages. And if somebody would text me, I would say, oh wait, Tammy has a prayer for that. Tammy has a exercise for that. And I would send it to people. And then I just thought, wait, I think it's better if we just bring Tammy on. Everybody can ask questions. We go through all of this together. So thank you, Tammy, for joining.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me. I feel the same way about your stuff, and all my people I'm constantly holding up your book and talking about you, so this is perfect.
Yay. So I have personally always been obsessed with signs from the universe. It was one of the ways that I really got through dealing with physical illness was I felt so lost and so stressed and so miserable so much of the time that I would see things and wonder if they meant something. And and Tammy's a Virgo as well. So we both have very analytical personalities, but for me, it really helped me to feel like there was greater meaning in something. And as I started to pay attention to the signs, the synchronicities, the things happening around me, I really started to completely trust that things are happening for a reason and there are signs of why they're happening. I can decode certain things that I'm seeing to make sense and make meaning of my life. Now, that was before my father passed away in 2010. In 2010, I became ultra obsessed with signs from the universe because it became totally clear to me that he was still around. And contrary to what I believed before, I was like, he's definitely still here, and he's sending signs and synchronicities. And it's not something that I talk about a lot because that can seem kind of woo-woo. I have to say, it's when Tammy's book came out that I sort of came out of the closet about it. I was like, everybody's talking about this, and everybody, like, Tammy's talking about it. She's talking about getting signs from her mother and signs from the universe, and everybody is comforted by this. Everybody is on board with this. Everybody, like, this isn't some woo-woo crazy thing that people are going to think I'm crazy for. Tammy really helped us understand. And it's one of the ways, one of her gifts is just, she's such a grounded person. Tammy, I know we're friends because of that. We're both Virgos, so we're like into all this spiritual stuff, but we got to make it work in real life or it's just not going to work.
Yes.
You really helped me to feel more comfortable talking about it. So I thank you for that, because in talking about it, so many people I know have picked up the book and it's really changing their lives, because life is better when we can make meaning of it, about it, and when we can feel and know that we have help from the other side. So
yes, totally. And honestly, I wrote the book because after my mother died, which has been almost 20 years, I was always talking about it. I was always telling people, oh, I went to this medium and you'll never believe what happened. And 20 years ago, like, mediums were not normal, right? It wasn't like a commonplace thing. But I was telling people about it, and I would say, oh, you never believe this weirdest thing happened. My mom sent me this sign. I know it was her. And people were like, that's so awesome, but it doesn't happen to me. Like, I never got pushback like, you're crazy, you need to be locked up, anything like that. It was always sort of like, that's so awesome, but I don't get that. And so, like you said, I sort of wrote the book for everybody, whether you're woo-woo or not woo-woo, it doesn't even matter. I am woo-woo, but I'm also, like you said, grounded. Because it's something that I think we can all relate to, especially when we're talking about our loved ones who have passed on. And it's something that we all can do. You don't have to be woo-woo. You don't have to be a psychic. You don't have to know anything. Once you start tuning into it and it's easy to do, it just starts flowing, and then your mind is blown, and then you become a little woo-woo.
Right. And I think it's so interesting to me because I think that it's happening to all of us, whether we believe in it or not. We just don't see it. I remember after my dad passed away, I heard something printing out on the printer, and I ran over to the printer to see what was going on. And his Facebook profile printed itself out. I was not on Facebook at the time. I was doing nothing. And at the time I was like, this is weird, whatever. But now, like now I realize all of those things are things, messages and people and support coming in for us. And it's not until you know to look for it that you do. And again, so many people have said to me, oh my gosh, just knowing this has changed my life. It's certainly for me changed the grieving process. I cannot even imagine what grieving would be like if I didn't have the knowing that the person I missed most in the world was still here in some sense. So this is such important stuff. And I know that's what you learned around your mom's passing. And I'm just so grateful that you're here to help us all understand how to do it for ourselves. So I have some questions, and I know you're willing to take us through some exercises so we understand and can do it on the call, which is awesome. The first thing I really think I want to know, and I don't even know if it matters, but how do we know what are signs from the universe and what are signs from our loved ones on the other side? Or does it matter? Is it all mixed up in one? What do you think?
I mean, it can be mixed up, but the biggest difference from like if you get a sign from a loved one versus could it be a universe, could it be the angels? Your loved ones, 9 times out of 10, especially when you're first sort of starting to make that connection, will use something that is connected to them, that reminds you of them. It could be their name, it could be their favorite flower, it could be their birth date, something that sort of you would see or hear or notice and think of them. They will always use something, whereas, and that's not to say your loved ones won't send you signs that are not connected to them if they are trying to help you move towards something you're supposed to be moving toward. But first and foremost, our loved ones, they just want us to know they're around. They want us to know they see everything that's going on. And they want us to know that they are helping us, that they are here for us, and that they've never left us. So the best way for them to do that is to send you something that connects with them. My mother uses her birth date. She uses her name. She'll use songs on the radio where when you hear something or you think of them right away. You're like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of my mother. Oh my gosh, then maybe that's a sign from my mother. It could be a song that you've even, know that person liked, or know that just anything that sort of is connected to them, I would pay attention to. And one of the exercises that I give in the book is the assign a sign exercise, which I don't know if you want to go through that or not.
Yeah, well, I have that on my list for today.
Okay. So yeah, but usually the biggest way to distinguish that is your loved ones will normally try to communicate with you, especially in the beginning, using something that is significant to you and their relationship, or that reminds you of them.
Okay. Awesome. And one of the things that I love too is that, that it's not all what I think, well, I'll see, you're the expert, but is that sometimes it's just that they're around, that we're seeing something. Sometimes people ask me like, I'm seeing this, what do you think it means? It could mean something, but couldn't it just mean they're there, which is always like enough for me. We always want to dig deeper, but when we see something, what does it mean? If we haven't, we're going to assign a sign later and be more specific. But typically, if we see something and I think, oh, that's from my dad, or it's my dad, it's my dad's energy or whatever, is that necessarily that he's trying to tell me something? Is there a message?
I think most of the time, exactly like you said, most of the time they're trying to let you know they're around. I know that my mother will send signs on maybe it'll be my birthday, or something amazing is happening in my life, or maybe I'm going through something and I'm upset about something, or I'm stressed out about something and I'm worried about something. Those are the times that she will sort of let her presence be known. Other times she has done things that you can tell are specifically about something. Like I've had papers be moved and I know that it was her. Like I once lost a script to a mammogram and I was looking all over the place, and I was like, and I literally said to her, Mom, help me find it. And I walked into the bedroom and it was lying on the floor. So that was an obvious thing, right? But a lot of the time it's that they just want us to know that they are around. If you get a sign, and the biggest ways that signs show up, I find, is in repetition. When you see something over and over and over again. To me, whether it's your loved one, whether it's the universe, your angels, your guides, whomever, the universe is trying to wake you up. Someone is trying to wake you up to something, to pay attention to it. Whether it's something that's already on your radar and they're saying, hey, you got to do this, or whether it's something brand new and you're like, why do I keep hearing the name of this book? Or why do I keep hearing? When something like that happens, if it's an obvious thing like a name of the book, then you know what that is. But in terms of finding meaning, like numbers that repeat, or you keep seeing an animal, a certain animal, or an animal does something really weird, like a butterfly lands on you, or, something sort of out of the ordinary, that's when I go to my friend and your friend and all of our friends, the internet, and I literally Google the metaphysical meaning of X, Y, and Z, whether it be, I've had to look up flies, bees, all
That's
sorts.
some of the things in the book. Like I've looked in your book to see, oh, what might that mean, which is helpful too.
Yes, yes. So that and numbers and things like that. If you see numbers are a big one. Obviously, if it's a birth date, like your birth date or your loved one's birth date, then they're just trying to let you know if they're around. But if
Yeah.
you see 1, 2, 3, 4 over and over, if you see 2, 2, 2 over and over, every time I look at the clock or every time I look at whatever, I see the same number repeating. I either Google it, or there's an amazing book called Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray, and he lists every number combination from like 0 to 999. And he gives the meanings. He channels angels and things like that, so he gives meanings for that. So the meaning isn't that hard to discover, and sometimes if you don't know what it is, I just ask. Say, listen, are you trying to get in touch with me? There's something you want me to know. Let me know. Guide me, direct me, send me the right person, send me the right information.
Okay. So I think what I'm getting from this is that we have support around, and whether it's the universe, our angels, our loved ones on the other side, they're there to help us.
Yes.
And one of the things I really learned in your book is to ask them for help. They want to help us.
Yeah.
And I sort of have known that all along, but we forget to ask, I feel like. And maybe we don't know how to ask. I just want to see like a show of hands. Do people get like, I know there might be something out there helping me, but I don't know how to get that help? Because I feel like that's a common, like, how do I get it? What do I say? Should I just hope? Should I whatever? And your book is so great because it's so applicable. Like, I don't have a whole lot of patience, and so if and everybody who's here who knows me knows, like, I don't meditate, I don't do yoga, but all of your meditations, everything in here is short and easy to do. Like anyone, even if Amy can do it, you can all do it, because it's just, there are things in here that take 60 seconds. Like even I have the patience for 60 seconds, maybe 58 only, but I can get close. But really being able to call upon those angels, guides, loved ones on the other side, or universe is so important. And one of my favorite things in your book is, and I'm going to ask you to do this with us now. One of my favorite things, especially for someone who's sensitive, for somebody who wants to help everybody, who's someone who worries about everybody, I love the prayers to call in higher help.
Mm-hmm.
Because not only do I find that they work, but it lifts this huge burden off of me, because it gives me a something to use. The prayers are something to use where I can turn it over to something greater than myself versus take everything on. So instead of me trying to fix everything, me trying to do everything, I use the prayers for higher help in this book to either ask for help for myself or ask for help for a loved one.
Yeah.
And I was wondering if you could walk us all through, one of each: a prayer to ask for higher help for ourselves and a prayer to ask for higher help for loved ones. Because I'm sure today I'm not the only one who can think of something I need help with and something I would love for a loved one to have help with. And I just find it so therapeutic to take the burden off of me and hand it over in a meaningful, insignificant, or a significant way, versus me just going, I feel like I need to help everybody, but I can't. Like, this gives me something so constructive and useful to do.
Yes, yeah, totally. And the thing about it is, I swear to you, I mean, I hate to say 100% of the time, but it really always works.
Yeah.
It always works on some level when you ask for help. You don't always get the exact thing that maybe you think you need or you think you want, or in the exact way that you're expecting it, but you always get help. Sometimes that help is just letting go of it. And sometimes and this is where the signs and synchronicity piece comes in, is the universe answers those calls for help by sending you the signs and synchronicities to lead you. Sometimes it's all of a sudden a thought that you hadn't thought of before, and now it's the solution to a problem. Sometimes it's a person coming into your life, an email that you could get, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Sometimes you're not getting help as in the immediate resolution, but what I've really experienced is you're getting help in the way of new ideas. You're getting led to a new person. You're getting led to a new book that then you read, and then that leads you somewhere. So it's like you're getting shown the path to get to where you need, whereas before it might have felt like there was no path open.
Yes, it's literally like you're in the dark and then all of a sudden a stone in front of you lights up and now you know you need to go here, and then another one lights up and you need to go here, and then all of a sudden now you have the solution. Sometimes it's quick and sometimes it's one thing leading to the next thing leading to the next thing, but it always, when you ask for help, it comes.
Okay, so let's do it. So who needs some help for themselves? Raise your hand if you okay. Okay, so first, if you could lead us through one of the, and these are all in Tammy's book. I have like this earmarked and it's crazy, but these are all in Tammy's book. The universe is talking to you, but if you could lead us through first getting help, higher help for ourselves, and then separately we'll think of a person that we love that we wish we could help and use this way to help them.
Yes, yes. And that's what's so great about that too. Like you said, you feel like, especially empathic people where they take on stuff from other people, or they want to help, but they don't know how to help. This is the best thing you could do for them, is to call in their people.
Yes. And I have a quick funny story about this. My cousin, I guess it was last week, was very close to having her baby, and she kept saying, I need to get this baby out of me. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. And we had done a bunch of energy work and stuff. And I said, okay, honey, the last thing I'm going to do before I go to bed tonight, we were texting really late. I said, I'm going to say a prayer for you. But then I realized I don't know what the heck to say for somebody who needs to have their baby. I've never had a baby. So I went through here and I actually used your morning prayer, which I use morning, noon, and night. And I changed it to ask for a quick, and she wasn't due, she's not even due yet, so she wasn't due until August 17th, a quick, and I said for her to go into labor pronto, and I can't remember, but I asked for like a very quick labor. And a few hours later she texted me. It was the morning, it was like maybe I was texting her at 11 or midnight, and the morning I woke up to a text that said guess what, with a picture, and she had the baby. And I was like, wow, that prayer really worked.
Oh my God.
2 weeks early, but she was ready, and her mother had passed several years ago, and we just called in all the higher help for it. So you just never know with these prayers.
100%. Yes, that's so awesome. Good for her. She must be so happy now that
So happy. So happy. She was so happy. So let's do a prayer first that we can all use for ourselves to help us with whatever we're struggling with.
Okay, so everybody just think of, one or more things because we're going to say the prayer together, but there's going to be a part for you to put in your own intention in the prayer. And in the back of the book, for those of you that have it, I have a list of some higher helpers and what they are expert in, and you can call in specifics. However, don't ever let that stop you from calling in higher help if you don't know who specializes, because you can always call in the collective, which is what my prayer starts with, and they know what they specialize in, so you don't have to. So,
and when you say somebody specializes, you mean like a certain angel or a certain like what do you?
Correct, yes. Like Archangel Gabriel specializes in communication, parenting, so maybe you would call her in. Archangel Raphael specializes in healing, so that's part of my morning prayer, stuff like that.
Okay, perfect. We're ready.
Okay, so think of one or two things that you personally need help with right now, and then close your eyes, and then you're going to repeat after me.
Okay. Do you want me to repeat, or we're okay to repeat it?
You can repeat if you want, sure, and then that way everybody can follow you.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, so close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and then just let it out slowly through your mouth. Dear God, Spirit Universe, I call in my angels, guides, loved ones who have passed, and all those in my soul society, only those of the highest vibration, to be with me right now. I am struggling with or need help with
fill in the blank, everyone.
yes, And here's where you can just explain the situation in your own words.
Okay.
I promise
I promise
to be open
to be open
to the signs
to the signs
you send
you send
in whatever form
in whatever form
they may come,
they may come,
whether a new idea,
whether a new idea,
thought,
thought,
person,
person,
or opportunity
or opportunity
that comes my way.
that comes my way.
Please assist me
Please assist me
in doing so.
in doing so.
Since we're doing this all together, I'm just going to add an extra part. We also ask
We also ask
that the collective energy
that the collective energy
of everyone here together
of everyone here together
and on the replay
and on the replay
help to boost all of our prayers
all of our prayers
and intentions
and intentions
for the highest good of all.
for the highest good of all.
Thank you in advance
Thank you in advance
for your help and assistance
for your help and assistance
with this matter.
with this matter.
I am truly grateful.
I am truly grateful.
Amen.
Amen. Oh, I love that. Thank you for adding the collective energy, because as a group, it just, I
Yes.
feel like we have like little amplifiers and it's just sending everybody's prayer and intention.
Yes. I feel like whether we're praying or meditating or whatever we do, when we do it as a group, it skyrockets it.
And now what we all have to do is look, right? Is look and listen, because the signs are only there if we pay attention. And we're going to talk about in a few minutes what happens if we're not getting signs for some reason, but we really do have to pay attention and look for them.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, how about someone said a very sweet, simple, and effective prayer. I love it. Yes, I love it too. It really is. And it's easy. It's not fancy language. We can fill in the blank with what we need. You can say it as many times as you want. And you can ask for, I think people are trying to, sometimes we save our help for something we really need, but we can use it for anything, right? We can ask for help for whatever.
You can ask, as part of my morning prayer, which is a similar prayer, I literally think about everything that I'm facing that day, and I ask that it goes smoothly, and I ask that everything works out. I don't care if the lawnmower is broken and you need help getting that fixed. Me trying to get my power back and my internet, I've been calling in help. Whether you're trying to get a parking spot in the rain, whatever it might be, or something serious, like you're trying to figure out a health challenge, or you're trying to go through a divorce, or you're trying to manifest a relationship, or whatever, big or small, you can ask for the help. And when you ask, the help comes.
And I've even learned what I understand about how things work on the other side is that they can't interfere unless we ask for help. They want to. Like, I always imagine like my angels and my dad and my mother-in-law and my cousin just waiting, like, I wish you would freaking ask us to get involved. You know, like, I think they're all like nosy neighbors, but like, if we're not asking, we're not calling them in, we're not letting them. And we're so worried about wasting our ask. But like, just like my dad, when he was in, you know, here in real life, he liked when I bothered him with everything. That was his favorite thing. Every problem he wished I came to him. And it's the same thing on the other
yes,
side.
100%. Especially, you know, our guides and the angels, like that's what they're here. That's what they're there for, right? And so, yes, you can have instances where there's a divine intervention. And by the way, sometimes those divine interventions come from somebody else praying for you and asking for you that you don't even realize it's happening. But when you ask, they are on it. They are always on it, and there will always be a resolution. Sometimes it's immediate, sometimes it takes longer, but there's always a resolution.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so how did everybody, just type in the box quickly, how did you find that? Was it easier than you thought? Did you get emotional? Sometimes I get emotional and I'm like, oh, wow, I feel like I really, really connected. Someone said it's good to thank the spirits and angels.
Yes.
Is there anything else? Someone wants to know, is there anything else we can give up as a thank you, or is a thank you enough?
I just honestly, I end every prayer by saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. And a lot of times, and this isn't in the book, but I'll throw this in there. A lot of times when I'm saying a prayer for help with something, or if I'm trying to create something in my life or manifest something in my life and I'm asking for help with that, I will always end the prayer saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, this or something better. And that way it kind of lets you let go, and you're saying thank you, thank you, thank you. I always say thank you in my morning prayer. I say thank you in advance for everything you've done in the past, everything you're going to do today, everything you will do in the future. I am grateful. And your gratitude is enough. It honestly is.
Okay. People are saying, awesome, I loved it. It was great, perfect. Yes, I felt emotional, but not sure why, like the group energy. Someone said they felt some emotions and peace knowing they'll get help with a tough situation, right? Isn't that what we all want? We just want a buddy, somebody to help us, somebody to have our back. And this allows you to have that, even if maybe you don't have anybody in the physical that's doing that for you. It's just knowing that there's a possibility of a resolution that feels so good and so helpful.
Yes. Yes. And also, I just want to say that in terms of the asking, the book is about signs and synchronicity, because when we ask, once you start opening yourself up, you're going to start realizing these answers faster. Because here's the thing, you've always gotten the answers, you probably just didn't recognize that they were the answers coming in or how they were coming in. And so the book is really about the two-way communication of just asking, and sometimes you don't have to ask, and noticing and waking up and realizing these answers are coming in. And it's just like, it changes everything for you once you start realizing how much is available to you and how much guidance is available to you.
Right. And it also gives us, in these times where everything feels really hard, it gives us something to look for, something to focus on, something to be hopeful about, right? Like now when I'm outside walking around, I'm always looking if there's a sign, is there a thing? It's like, it's a really healthy activity versus, just kind of wandering around hoping things will get better. It just gives you a nice focus.
Yes, 100%.
So someone said, I love that, the this or something better. That's a really good way to put it. I love that.
Yes.
Susie says, Tammy's books and past videos have helped me connect with my dad on multiple times. I always say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Somebody's saying, is there a power in saying it 3 times?
I don't know if there's a power in saying it 3 times. I have always seen it that way in different manifestation things.
Yeah.
So it just kind of became my habit, and so that's how I teach people to do it. You don't have to say it 3 times, but it's just, I think I heard it once for a manifestation thing, and so now I just sort of like to add it to everything. And again, to me, it's like, thank you for the past, thank you for the present, thank you for the future.
Yeah, and I do that in my work now that I think about it. Releasing, releasing, releasing. Healing, healing, healing. I say installing,
Right.
installing, installing. I guess it's just a thing. Maybe it's an intuitive thing. We know that the 3
It might be. Yes. It just feels right for some reason.
totally. And then I just wanted to say, somebody said, "Oh, my mom says love you too," because my mom Tammy is our biggest fan, which I totally love.
Yes. Yay. Hi.
Someone says they're uncomfortable with the word God. So can they use higher power or
Oh,
any
yes.
other language? What can
Yeah,
they?
that's why in the when I say God, spirit, universe, it's interchangeable. So you can say dear universe, you can say dear spirit, dear source, calling in the creator of all. Whatever word sort of feels good for you, 100%.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now what about doing a prayer so that if we know somebody's struggling and we feel helpless in that they're struggling, what can we do something for them so that we
Yes.
feel like we're helping?
Yes. So think of someone that you know, a friend, a family member, whomever, even somebody that you're worried about, maybe who didn't ask for help or anything, but you just are worried about an outcome of something. And think of what you would like to help them with. And what we are going to do is call in their angels and their guides and their loved ones and their sort of higher help team and send them over to them. So that's sort of our way of helping on our behalf and calling them in on their behalf, so that they may not even know you ever did it. They may get the help, and these poor helpers won't ever get the credit. It doesn't matter. You are just going to do it on their behalf. And then when something works out for them, even if they don't believe in this, you can just smile and be like, I know that, I helped with that.
Okay.
So bring to mind someone that you would like to call in help for, and the reason you would like to call it in, and then close your eyes again, and we will do another prayer.
Okay.
So take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out through your mouth. In the beginning, I'm going to say all the words, but you pick whatever resonates with you. So repeat after me. Dear Spirit, God, Universe,
Dear Spirit, God, Universe,
I call in, and say the name of the person that you're calling it in. So if it was for me, I would say, I call in Tammy's angels,
I call in so-and-so's angels,
guides,
guides,
loved ones who have passed,
loved ones who have passed,
and all those
and all those
in their soul society.
in their soul society.
Only those
Only those
of the highest vibration,
of the highest vibration.
to be with them
To be with them
right now.
right now.
I also call on
I also call on
any specific angels
any specific angels
that can help with their current situation.
that can help with their current situation.
Now say their name. Is struggling with
Is struggling with
or needs help with,
or needs help with,
and then explain the situation. Please help,
please help,
and then their name, to be open
to be open
to the signs you send
to the signs you send
in whatever form
in whatever form
they may come.
they may come.
Whether a new idea,
Whether a new idea,
thought,
thought,
person,
person,
or opportunity.
or opportunity.
Please also utilize
Please also utilize
this collective energy
this collective energy
to boost this prayer
to boost this prayer
even more
even more
than if it was just me asking alone.
than if it was just me asking alone.
Thank you in advance
Thank you in advance
for your help and assistance
for your help and assistance
with this matter.
with this matter.
I am truly grateful.
I am truly grateful.
Amen.
Amen.
And then open your eyes.
Hey, that one feels so good. For a helper like me, sometimes I use that one and just say everyone who, like all of those who are suffering. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to use it, but I'm like a Virgo all the way. I'm like, I'm going to cover everyone I can think of.
Yes, and here's the thing too. If you're saying that, let's say you want to make this part of your, you'll say my morning prayer, and then maybe you want to say, because I do this sometimes too, is I'll say my morning prayer, and then I'll say a prayer for other people, and I will stack multiple people in that. You can totally do that as well. So I told you to pick one, but let's just say you were like, oh my God, I have 3 people that I'm worried about right now. You just stack them all in there and you put it out there, and then you let it go, and just know that their angels are on it. So you can say, I'm calling in the angels, guides, and loved ones who have passed, for list the name of people, and then you can go from there as well.
I love that, because I think so. And tell me in the comments if any of you relate, but so much of what I end up struggling with is other people's pain. Like, I don't often have that much stuff going on in my own life. I'm worried about so and so, and I wish I could help reach more people with my books. Like, it's that kind of stuff. And so this allows me, I think, a really healthy way to turn it over. And even being somebody who thinks I can do everything really well and I'm a great helper, I'm also like, clearly angels are better at helping than I am. Like, I can give them that. Like, I can be a control freak and think that I can fix everything, but even I know there are other beings that could do a better job. So yeah, Julia says, I have several people I will use it for right now. And Susie says that she can relate. Thank you for the prayer to help someone else. It's critical right now. And it does. We feel helpless, especially in a time where we're not able to visit people like we used to be. This really gives us something amazing to do to help them and to feel good in ourselves too.
Yes, and also, like you said, you're worried about other people, and we kind of feel like sometimes you feel helpless, like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything. I just want to take their pain away, or I just want to help with this situation. this is a way to release that, because you're saying to the universe, here's their problem. You know better than I do. You can send in the people, you can see more than I can, you can do more than I can. I am giving it over to you. And then you feel like you did something for them and you feel better.
Yeah, totally, totally. And I know a lot of people say prayers for people who have passed, but what I understand, and I just want to ask your opinion on this, is once they pass, they're not suffering anymore. They're totally free. We don't need to ask for help for people who have already passed. Is that true?
That is true. I will say that, so the first medium that I ever went to that I talk about in the book is George Anderson. And he would say that you can actually pray for people when they have first passed, because the prayers do help sort of boost them or bolster them, or, in sort of in that ascension process, I guess. So I think
They're not in pain anymore or struggling anymore. Whatever they had here, we don't need to be praying for them there.
No, correct. You absolutely, the once they pass on, it's like you're literally stepping out of this physical body, and you are free and you are good and you have no problems and you have no pain and you have nothing. No, you mostly were praying to them for help with our stuff.
Right.
And interceding anyway.
Right, but otherwise for the transition process, but just to know that they're at peace, that those who have transitioned to the other side are at peace. Okay. So what I want to know, and I saw a couple of people ask in the chat box, what if we're not getting, and I think we're never not getting the signs, we're just not seeing them. But what if we think we're not getting them? What can we do then? And I'm not going to reveal what my very favorite exercise in this book is yet, because I'm going to see if that's the one you're going to teach us. And if not, I'll ask you to do that one too. But what can we do if we think we're not getting signs, if we're looking around and it's blank? What does that mean?
So there could be a couple of different factors. So when somebody says to me, I assigned the sign, I did all this stuff, I'm not getting it, I don't understand what's happening, I always say there could be a couple different things going on. Number one, I have an entire chapter in the book called Tame the Chaos. And that's a chapter before you even get to the 5-step process in the book. There's the Tame the Chaos. The reason is that when you have chaos in your life, when you are sort of not grounded and you are jumping from one thing to the next thing, and the kids are coming in and they're yelling at you, or you're all these different people are calling you with problems, or now all of a sudden it seems like everywhere you go another fire has to be put out, and you have all this stuff going on, it's almost impossible to see a sign because you're not in that present moment state, right? The signs are happening in the present moment. If you're not there, if you're here, there, and everywhere, it can literally smack you over the head and you're not going to see it. So that's the first thing. And I give a lot of different exercises, like you said, like the 60-second things to sort of bring yourself back to the present moment, right? That's the first issue. The second thing is, do you have, and anybody that's familiar with your work will be familiar with this, I say to people, do you have a belief that you don't get them, that you can't get them, that you're not psychic, so you can't get these communications? Is there something within you that is actually blocking it? Because we know limiting beliefs literally work. There's a part in our brain that will block stuff. If you have a belief, it's just not going to come into your consciousness. It's not going to happen. So if there's a limiting belief, I share how to sort of try and find that and then clear that using a variety of different techniques, which you talk about, whether it's EFT, Ho'oponopono. There's so many different ways that people can go about trying to clear that belief.
And they're easy in the book. They're really easy, which I love.
Yes. And I list like a ton of beliefs that you can test to see, are these my beliefs and all that kind of stuff. And then, so those are the two things. And sometimes it's just a matter of like doing EFT and tapping on like all your worry about not getting the sign. And I don't know why I'm not seeing it. And Tammy said I should be seeing it, but it's not here yet. And, I'm doing something wrong. My loved ones don't care, whatever, like, you sort of have going on. And then the other piece is there's a prayer in the book to Archangel Haniel, who works on so many different things, but can help you to tame the chaos and can help you to start sort of opening up to the things that are happening. So that's another sort of piece that I give to people. And once you start realizing, okay, do I have a block? Okay, can I do these different exercises to sort of calm everything down so that the more I'm in the present moment, the more that I'm going to see things happening, the more all of a sudden something will come in. And honestly, for somebody who's never received one, all they need to do is get one, and it's like a breakthrough, right? It's like, oh, I got it, and now I know I can do this, and it becomes a whole other thing.
So someone just chatted and said, the prayer we just did for others, I did for my brother, and he just texted me. How fast was that of a manifestation?
That is awesome.
And someone else said, Tammy, you're making me realize how I've been getting signs much longer than I understood. So that's what you're talking about. Once you're open to them, then you start seeing it everywhere. Someone says, amazing. It's
Yes.
so true. It's just being open.
Yes.
So my favorite exercise, which I don't know why, I love all the exercises in the book, but my favorite exercise is the crown chakra reset.
Yes.
How it works so well for being so easy. You don't really even do anything, but can you show us all how to do it? Because I use it all the time, and every time I'm like, I know energy work. Like, I know the ins and outs of energy work. How does this one thing reset my energy so well? So
it's so crazy. And that's one of the things for if you want to tame the chaos, if you want to get grounded and back in the present moment. And you can do this a million cajillion times a day. It doesn't matter. But it's funny because I had a friend of mine who is a medium, and she used to always say to me, oh, when I go outside, she lives in New York City, so it's, you know, bustling in New York, right? The energy in New York City, forget it, which I love, but still. So she would always say to me, I always wear a hat sometimes if I'm feeling extra sensitive, because I feel like it blocks the flow of stuff. So the crown chakra reset is literally, and it, again, like you said, it sounds like a duh. Like a lot of my exercises sound like duh, but I guarantee you, number one, either you're not doing things and that's why it's not working, or number two, it's just that easy, and just trust that it's that easy. So if you feel, and you can do this anytime you feel overwhelmed, you feel chaotic, you feel like you're spinning out, you feel like I need to get more centered and grounded in my body, and you just want to bring yourself back to the present moment, because that is where the signs are happening. So all you have to do is I take my dominant hand. So whatever your dominant hand is, I'm writing. And I literally just place it over the crown chakra of the top of your head.
I mean, I feel like I do this sometimes during the day, just for like 30 seconds or a minute. And I feel like a new person when I'm done. Like, I really do feel like it gave my body like such a reset or a break.
Yes. And the whole, I mean, really what I tell people to do is just close their eyes. The reason you're doing this is you're sort of physically blocking anything that could be coming in to your sort of senses, or into your aura, or into your body from the outside. You're just saying, well, I'm going to just give me a reset. So you just close your eyes and you just breathe. You can repeat like, I am safe, I am grounded, or you can just not say anything and just sit there and breathe and feel yourself sort of coming back to your body, to the moment, getting like a relief almost from all of the sensory stuff happening around you. And I just tell people, do it for 30 seconds up to a minute, whatever it takes for you to reset, basically, and you'll feel it. You can like literally physically feel the reset. And then that's it.
People yawning, which is a good reset for the nervous system.
Yes.
It's so easy. How easy is that, right? It's so
simple. And if you can do that throughout that's one thing that if you can do that throughout the day, not only are you going to calm down, tame the chaos, and be more grounded, but you will be more open, so that when a sign comes in, you're like, oh, I can recognize it. Whereas if I have 15,000 other things going on, it's flying past me and I'm not getting it.
Yes, totally. Okay. So can we talk about assigning a sign? Because this is something my wife and I do, especially when we go on vacation. We just recently went away, and I officiated a very small wedding ceremony in upstate New York. And then we went to California to see family, and we decided when we left what our sign for each of our parents was going to be, so that they could show us they were there. And I picked an alligator. Why I picked an alligator? It was just the first thing that came into my head. It took me a little while to see the alligator, but I finally saw it in where my family lives in Monterey, California. I was like, I wasn't giving up, but I was like, just show me an alligator sticker. How hard is this, Dad? You know, I need my alligator. And I was talking to my mom on the phone, and I was walking downtown. I had to walk because one of the restaurants that we were picking up food from, they couldn't take credit cards because their their like machine went down and they were like, we need cash. I
Mhm.
never have cash. So I had to walk to an ATM. Now in New York City, if you need cash, the furthest you ever have to walk is across a street. But
Yes.
in Monterey, it's not like that. So I had to walk, and people on this call from Monterey are like, I know. Yeah, I had to walk like 15 minutes to an ATM. And on the way, I'm talking to my mom, and I look over, and there's a thrift store that was closed because nothing was open. And instead of a mannequin in the window, they had an alligator, a giant alligator. Not only that, but the alligator was wearing glasses and a fanny pack exactly like my dad used to wear.
Oh my God.
I
Oh,
had to
forget it.
wait, but I got it when I got to where he used to live, not the first part of my trip. I got it, and while I was talking on the phone with my mom, like he was,
Yeah.
and that poor restaurant, he probably broke their credit card machine, But anyway, I love assigning a sign because when you are specific, then you're not out there going, I wonder if that was a sign, and not believing anything.
Yeah.
So can
Yeah.
you teach us how, I don't know if I do it the right way, but can you teach us your method of assigning a sign, and can we all do it so that we can keep each other posted about how it works?
Yes. Yes. So basically, a sign is the best for whether you're getting signs or not, but especially for somebody who says to me, I haven't gotten a sign from my loved one, or I haven't gotten a sign from, I'm on a healing journey and I'm working with Archangel Raphael and I don't know if he's around and I would like to assign him a sign, right? It doesn't just have to be our loved ones. It can be angels that you're working with. It can be, the universe itself, just so that you're being guided. But what I love about assigning a sign is I was inadvertently doing it for years and didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah.
And I interviewed a medium, and she had said to me, her husband did this thing with his angels or his guides and said, my birthday is 12/12. I'm going to multiply it to 144. Just use 144 so that I just know that I'm being guided. And I heard her say that, and I thought, oh, that was brilliant. And then I was like, oh, I think I've been doing this, because what would happen is I would see my mother's birth date and I would go, oh, hi, Mom. And then she would see that and say, she got it. I'm using that again. And then she would use it again and again. Same thing with the song on the radio. Same thing with her name. So in a way, I was saying, I got this. Use that again. And now I'll know it's you. I won't even question it. That's where I want you to get to. But I want you to pick a sign. So first, what I want you to do is pick, who would you like a sign from? Again, it can be a loved one. It can be an angel that you're working with. It can be, the universe. You can do a collective as a whole, whatever you want to do. Most people pick a loved one who has passed on. But just pick who you want to hear from. And then I want you to pick a sign. Now, some people get really caught up in this and they're like, oh, I don't know. And then they assign a sign and then they don't like it. And then they switch it and then they'll assign another sign and all of that stuff. Don't overthink it. You can just use the person's name. You could use a flower that they liked. You can use a butterfly. You could use a squirrel. One time I said squirrel and I didn't know why I said squirrel. And there was somebody on there and they were like, oh, that's my sign for my husband. And I was like, well, there's your sign.
I can also see the first thing that comes, right? Because like I thought of an alligator, which I regretted after a little while.
Right.
Why would I think of that? But it was the first thing that came into my mind. And when I got the sign,
Yes.
I realized like there was going to be nothing else dressed up in a fanny pack and glasses like my dad had. Like that was, so you can just think, can you just think of like whatever comes to your mind?
Whatever comes to your mind, and don't stress about thinking, oh, this is going to be too difficult. But because I'll tell you, I had one person who she assigned a sign. I don't remember. Oh, I think it was like the song Memories from Cats or something like that.
Oh yeah, somebody's just typing that. She said, Patricia says, I was afraid my assigned signs were
that
too.
was her.
She just typed it. Then I heard memories from cats, then balloons from a dog who was deathly afraid of them. She showed me balloons twice. So,
Yes.
that's so funny that you're telling the story and she was
Okay,
typing.
see? Hi,
That's
Patricia.
fine.
Okay. So yeah, exactly. So what happens is you'll assign a sign and then you'll question it, right? Where you'll go, oh, that's going to be too hard. They're not going to be able to do that. And then I've had people assign a second sign thinking that's too hard. And then the first one comes, right? So if you assign a second sign, then you need to look out for two because you've already assigned the first one.
More than we think they can do, right?
Correct. Don't think they can't do it. They can't figure it out. Don't stress yourself. Okay. So again, we're going to say a prayer, but we're basically going to be talking to whomever it is that we want to talk to, whether it's our loved one, whether it's an angel, whomever you want. So once you have your assign and you know who you're assigning it to, close your eyes, and we're going to assign it together. So repeat after me again. Dear universe.
Dear universe.
I surround myself.
I surround myself.
With the white light of love.
With the white light of love.
And peace.
And peace.
As I call in.
As I call in.
And then call in whomever you're assigning the sign to. I know.
I know.
You have been trying.
You have been trying.
To communicate with me.
To communicate with me.
And I.
Have
been missing the signs.
Have been missing the signs.
You are sending.
You are sending.
I am ready.
I am ready.
To open myself up.
To open myself up.
To communication.
To communication.
From you.
From you.
And I would like.
And I would like.
To offer you a sign.
To offer you a sign.
To use.
To use.
That so that I will know.
So that I will know.
You are around me.
You are around me.
And guiding me.
And guiding me.
Please use the sign of.
Please use the sign of.
And then give them your sign. And from now on.
From now on.
I promise.
I promise.
To be open.
To be open.
And accept the sign.
And accept the sign.
When I see it.
When I see it.
In the future.
In the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen.
That's it.
That's it. So easy. And we just have to look, right? So it can be like written out, or it can be the actual thing, or it can be whatever. Someone's asking, how long does the sign last? I feel like they stick with the same one for, I'm getting my dad that was the same at the beginning.
Yeah, you will see an alligator again and know it's your father. So yeah, once you assign the sign, what you're doing almost is building up your own reference guide. So many times people will say to me, well, do I need a book of symbols, or do I need, that's not how your loved ones are communicating. They're not using Morse code. They're not using JavaScript, right? They're literally using stuff that they want you to notice. So when you are assigning a sign, they will, once you get that sign, they're like, yes, I can use this again and again, and now she or he is going to know that I am around, that I am with them. Thank God the lines of communication are open. They're going to throw a party on the other side. And once you assign that sign and you get that sign, that goes into your reference guide as one of the ways that that particular angel or loved one communicates with you.
Yeah, I find that they like use it like confetti. They're like, oh, you liked that dog? Okay. And then it's like, then you see like 5 dogs a day or whatever. Cause I think they think it's fun. Like it's something for them to do. They're excited. They love how excited we get about signs, and also being on our path. They love us like following the signs and finding ways to move forward in life. And I think it's probably as fun for them as it is for us.
And I always like to add, because I always get this question, and I've actually done a couple of videos about it on my YouTube channel, but this goes for pets who have passed as well. So it's not just, your angels and people who have passed. 100% it goes for pets who have passed as well.
I have a question, because I'm always thinking of like the next thing we could use it for. But can we, and I know other people have this question too. Okay, so we know a sign means they're around. Can we assign a sign to be a yes or a no? Like I'm a big coin flipper. I know that's ridiculous, but I'm always like, if I should go to this restaurant, make it a heads. And if I should go to because I'm so indecisive, if I should go to this restaurant, make it a tails. Can we be like, show us, a rose for a yes on this job and rock for a no? Or like, can we do that? Or do you think that is like, we should stay away from that?
So the only caveat I would have with that, what I like to do is sometimes I'll say, send me a sign to know I'm making the right decision or I'm on the right path, right? Yeah. Rather than a yes or a no. The yes or a no, I find usually when we're asking for a yes or a no with something, there's some type of an emotional attachment to the answer. Mm-hmm. And when there's an emotional attachment to the answer, it's very, very, very hard to get a true answer or a true sign. It's the same thing like people who do oracle card readings, or if you use a pendulum or muscle test or whatever it is, if you're truly emotionally attached to something, you might not get the answer that you want. People always say, like, if you're attached to an outcome, don't pull your own oracle card because it's not going to be the true thing. So I find that same thing with the yes or a no. Sometimes if there's an emotional attachment to it, I would be wary of it. If there's not an emotional attachment to it, and you're just trying to decide like what color car to buy or something like that, you know, that might be okay. But just always be careful if there's an emotional attachment to it. Like if you're trying to decide about a job or a relationship, and maybe you really want it to go one way, then it's kind of hard because you'll interfere.
So it's clear to ask for the support and guidance to be supported and know what's right for you or go in the right direction.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. And and sometimes I just say, like, are you around me? And once I know that they're around, then I know that I'm going to make the right decision because I know I'm being guided.
Right. Tia just said, you just mentioned a rose and I asked for a sign for a rose. So thanks.
Hey,
Someone has a question and I'm not exactly sure. So you're going to have to type some follow up. They say, can you assign a sign for something you're trying to manifest? What do you mean by that? Can you just type in the box, explain? What do you mean by for something you want to manifest?
Well, I can say something about that. Yeah. And I mean, let her answer.
Yeah. Okay.
But what I will say is, to me, a sign that the universe will send to us. So let's say you're trying to manifest, I have no idea. Let's say you're trying to manifest a new house and you want to move and you've been looking for a house all over the place and you're trying to find a house. And then all of a sudden, you hear from one of your friends who, you know, they just decided, all of a sudden, maybe you've been looking for 6 months and then they just decided to move and they suddenly found a house and they call you and they're like, I found the perfect house. And you're like, I can't believe, you know, whatever. What I find is when the universe puts in front of you something that you're trying to manifest through someone else. So if I wanted another book deal and then someone else called me and said, I just got a book deal, to me, that's a sign that it's coming for me and it's possible for me. So if you're trying to manifest something and then you hear about someone else getting it, or you see something about somebody else getting it, or if there's some kind of a clue, if it comes into your consciousness, that means that it's on its way to you or that it's possible.
I love your perspective on this so much because typically it's easy for us when we're wanting something or wanting to manifest something to get jealous and envious and upset when we see other people getting it. But I love your perspective of if it's showing up in your energy field,
that means it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. It's the energy of it is there.
Yes.
I was going to ask you another question, which now I can't seem to remember. So does anybody else, somebody else says mine was a rose too. Their sign was a rose too.
Oh, awesome.
People are quick manifestors here.
Yes.
They're already getting their stuff. Someone says, can you talk about the timing of things? What do you think about the timing? I know you talk about this a little bit, like divine timing.
Oh, divine timing. Yes. It's so annoying, isn't it? Divine timing.
So annoying.
It's so annoying. So yeah, basically we definitely can manifest. We definitely have an effect on what we're creating in our life. There's also timing, right? There's also when it's actually and that's why I always say this or something better, because we get so involved with how something should happen and exactly when it should happen that we could actually be stopping something better from happening. How many times have you wanted to be in a relationship with somebody when you were younger, maybe, and it didn't work out, but then you found somebody that was amazing, right? I think about exes that I dated and I think, dear God, why did I even want to be in that compared to what I have now, right? So, and that whole thing is, I mean, I know that was divine timing with my husband because he was in another relationship. He had to actually get separated and divorced, and then we met. But I've been trying to manifest him for like a year before he showed up, right? But I don't want to manifest him when he wasn't available, right? I want to manifest him when he's available. So there is, and that's where that surrender piece comes in. That's where that, okay, I know what I want, but I'm going to let go of exactly how it's going to happen, because if I'm pinholed into, and it's the same thing with signs, if you're pinholed into exactly how you think it can show up, you're going to miss it showing up. It's the same thing with manifestation. If you're pinholed into the how, if you're pinholed into exactly when it should happen. You've got to just have some aspect of the letting go, and that's where this or something better comes in, because you know that you're going to be guided. You can look in your past, which I have a whole exercise in here, a couple exercises in here of finding this proof in your own past. You can look in your own past and realize, oh, everything showed up as it was supposed to. Oh, A got me to B, got me to C, got me to D. Look how guided I've been. And then you can let go a little bit, and you can know, I know this is leading me somewhere. I'm just going to trust that the universe has my back and is guiding me, and that when the time is right, I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to get to a place even better than I'm possibly imagining.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about trusting and letting go and looking around and just chilling out. Why is that
Yes.
to do? It's the
Which
practice.
is so hard, especially for Virgos, but yes.
So hard. I know it really is. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much, Tammy. Thank you so much for spending time. Her book is The Universe is, I'm gonna make sure there's no glare, is talking to you. It is amazing. I have used every inch of this book, screenshot it, texted it, emailed it. You need your own copy though. Thank you so much for being here and for answering so many questions and for giving us all signs to look for, because in this day and age, like now we can like stay off the news for a few days. We don't need to read Facebook so much, right? We have other things to look for.
Yes.
So let's try to focus on some of the good things that are already surrounding us or that are on their way. And let's all remember the crown chakra reset. So amazing, so easy. And email me, email Tammy. Tammy, can you say your website and all this stuff where they can find you? And Tammy does amazing classes just so they can follow up.
Yes, so you can, the website is www.tammymastroberte.com. You can see how to spell my name. I think it's in the email that Amy sent also and that I sent, and those of you who know me. So tammymastroberte.com, you can actually download for free. You can get access to a short video series on the 2 top tools to tame the chaos in your life from there. You can find me on Instagram at Elevated Tammy and on Facebook. Definitely message me or message Amy with the signs that come, because they are the coolest stories ever. And give yourself at least 48 hours, by the way, for that sign to come. If for whatever reason it doesn't come, you can literally go back and just do this exercise again and say, I'm sure you sent it and I missed it, so I'm asking. Don't change the sign. Keep the sign, because then you're going to have multiples coming. But give yourself 48 hours, and you can always go back and do it again. You can always check and do some EFT around it, because maybe there's something blocking it. But definitely let us know, because I love, love, love hearing the stories, and you will get it.
You will. It just might take, if you're really specific, sometimes it takes some creativity for them on the other side to dress a mannequin up or do whatever they have to do.
Yes.
Or break a credit card machine to make you, I think they reroute you. And another interesting thing I want to point out, because Tammy and I often unknowingly deliver each other's signs to each other. And Tammy did a great video about this. But look, sometimes someone else says something, like I said, Rose, sometimes someone else says something and that's your sign. So, listen, just be open to how it comes through. We're getting a lot of thank yous. People are saying your book is their Bible. Thank you so much. So fun. Thank you. Thank you. This was the absolute best. So Carlene shared she had a bunch of signs around the number 22, which is my lucky number and a sign of mine. So her thing is a number that she keeps seeing and things keep happening. And so I always have a lot of people saying that they love that. Someone said they read Tammy's book, they always reference it over and over. I find myself too, like going back to the thing. And someone said, since I got Tammy's book, my spiritual journey was catapulted and things in my life are falling into place faster than I can keep up with. So
this is so awesome. And honestly, I reference my own book. If you ever take classes with me and somebody will ask me a question, I'll be like, let me just see who you need to call in. And I'll look at my own book.
Funny, someone's asking me what the name of my book is. My book is called How to Heal Yourself When No One Else Can. I don't have it right here on my desk, but I do the same thing, Tammy. Like when my wife and I go to do energy work, we each have a copy of my book by our bed, and we have like the charts bookmarked. And I always think it's so funny that I'm using my own book to do healing, but a really good book that has everything in it is what you need to go back to. So we're getting a lot of things. Yes. We had so much fun here today, and please message us so we can share all these signs with all of you. We can post them anonymously too. If you want to write, you can share this, but without my name. We can post on Facebook or whatever, just for fun. Okay.
That's awesome.
Yay. Thank you everybody for joining us. And this was so much fun. Let's all go out and get our signs.
Yay!
Hi, I'll send
Thank
out
you
this
for having
recording.
me.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Thanks, Tammy.